we're gonna be doing something special today, and we're going to be doing a air surfing, which is completely different than well. So what you want to do is load up into EDZ. Make sure you're on this side right here. And now we're gonna go over here. This will bring you all the way towards where Red War ship used to be. Well, the Almighty, technically. But you gotta come all the way down here.
Shut them down.
So, I'm going ahead and kill these enemies so they're not shooting me and flinching me. Oop. There's one. And there's two. So, what you want to do is come over here to Customs. Gonna set that to Custom. And this is what you're gonna have for your key bindings. X, if you're on PlayStation. Normal super.
They're heading to another site.
You want your hunter dodge ability to be pressed, not hold. So you're going to be having that as pressed. Next, you're going to have pretty much everything like this supposed to. You don't really have to change any of this. Only thing you have to do is change the crouch. Well, yeah, change the crouch. Make sure your circuit ability. You don't really have to have sensitivity high, but you can if you want. So what you're gonna do is come over here to this ramp. Make sure you're on the down climb or you're not gonna hit it. Once you touch this ground right here, immediately start to spam your jump. It is gonna take you a little bit to get used to, but once you get used to it, this is what it's gonna look like. Just rapidly press X or your jumping button, and you better do it. So it does take a little time to get used to the key bindings at the exact same time and getting used to everything you need to. It's very simple to do, very easy to do. You can also use Strand for a shadow dive. It works either way, but you're going to have to hit that rapid jump as fast as possible as soon as your foot touches the platform. Make sure you're on a down climb. Stay still. Oh, that time I did not. So if you are not timing your jump, that's what happens. You get the air, but you're not able to keep the air like you're supposed to. Kill these fuckers so they don't punch me. Yep. Should have killed him first. If you are running out of your ability, you can also increase your recovery. That increases your dodge mechanic to be able to be used more often. It does the exact same thing on a hunter, and it does the exact same thing on a warlock, and it does the exact same thing on the titan. Higher your recovery, the faster your ability recovers. Make sure you're on the down climb.
Ha! There they go. We kept them busy.
And you gotta time
I
that
doubt they
jump
got much
absolutely
glimmer, thanks to
perfectly.
you.
I hate the fact that they come back so. When they shoot you, it punches the shit out of you. Down climb. Jump, 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 jump. And now you're surfing in the air. This is known as air surfing. It's much easier to do on a hunter than it is on a warlock and titan. It does take time to get practice, and it does take time to be patient. Because you've got to hit those key notes at the exact same time. So the way I do it is hold down triangle, now bring out my sword. Now you go slide your thumb from X to circle, and then R2. If you have my key bindings on. Which is the exact same way as me doing Wellscape. You're gonna have to be quick, and you're gonna have to slide that thumb as fast as possible. Get these fuckers so they don't flinch. Got a down climb. Rapidly press jump. And that's known as air surfing. The higher the incline, the further you go. For example, if I come all the way over here, to a big incline like this, it's going to be a lot harder to hit it since it's not a vertical. Well, you're going downhill, so there's no way of going uphill to get that oomph that you need. So this is what it's going to look like if you don't have it. You can either have that happen, or it's just going to be a normal egret skate, but not a air surfing. At first, when I done this, I literally thought I did it, but it was sword surfing or sword egretting. But the difference between sword surfing and air surfing is a big difference. You rapidly press that jump button, that will lift you up higher and farther distance. Sword surfing is just basically well skating, shadow skating, but with extra steps and a little bit more distance than normal. So again, come over here, downward skate. So that's what sword skating is. So if you do not input your buttons at the right time, right second, that's what happens. So that's the sword skating. But if you time it perfectly, it'd be known as air surfing. Ah, fucking goddamn it. Should have killed them first so I don't have to worry about their ass. So it does take time to do this. It does take practice, it just to get used to. It does take time. So if you don't get on your first try, don't hurt yourself. It's gonna take practice. Downward incline. That's what happens when you don't slide from X to circle as fast as possible. Because instead of allowing to do the air surfing, it automatically think, oh, I press circle, I gotta dive. That's what happens in well skates when you don't time it perfectly. Especially when it comes to well skating. It is a pain in the ass to get used to, but once you get a hang of it, it's the most easiest thing you ever done in your life. So again, that is sword skating. As my previous attempt, the higher the incline that you're going up for, the further you go. Now the downward acts like a ramp. So you're basically ramping your hunter rapidly jumping, and that keeps your momentum in the air without using any of your jumps. Which in retrospect, it allows you to gain more distance. Thank God that's flags here. Make sure you stand still. That's what happens when you don't time it. Get a little glimmer. Oh, and by the way, you do not have to be on Neptune to get strand meditations. As long as you're killing enemies with your strand, you will get the strand meditations. Damn. The hard part about my key bindings is the time. If you're not timed perfectly and you're not patient enough, you're set to fail every single time. And that's why I gotten so much better with Westgate, because I'm more patient when it comes to Westgate. Westgating is one of the trickiest, but at the same time, one of the easiest to do. Shadowskate by far is the hardest I ever have tried or attempt. It's all about timing your jump. Because as soon as your foot hits that plate, you want to rapidly jump. So, no early, that's what early looks like. If you're too early, you just basically do a normal source gate. It is tricky to get it down every single time, but keep practicing and you will get it. It's all about timing and patience. It's also going to take me a little time because my fingers are sore. I've been doing this since like 3 a.m. You can do it on any end climb, but you're not going to be able to get that much distance if you cannot get a upward incline. So like that. If it's not upwards incline, you're not going to be able to get it done as easily. You can get it done, it is possible, but it's going to be twice as harder and twice more difficult. That's why it's always best to try to top that timer. As soon as you hit that platform, rapidly jump. Key bindings are pain in the ass. Fingers are fucking hurting. This is why I wish I was on PC, because I can just tap 2 buttons instead of pressing 3, technically 4 buttons. It is going to get harder to get used to. Well, once you get a hang of it, key bindings on a controller is a pain in the ass, because if you don't time it correctly, you will fail 90% of the time, especially when it comes to Westgate. It's all about timing, and it's all about button input. If you cannot get a button input, switch it out, you change it again. But my fingertips are fucking hurting because I had... So, with me, I am not too patient, so I end up pressing the button too hard, which puts a lot of pressure on my fingertips, which causes more pain. But I'm just not a patient person. Just like that. Rapidly punch jump repeatedly.
To all
Keep jumping.
Guardians by the Cabal base.
And you
There's
just
an
did
ether
air skate.
catch headed your way.
Well, air surfing. It is tricky to get used to, but once you get hang of it, it's much, much, much easier. It's all about timing that first initial millisecond that you have when you touch that floor. As soon as your character touches that floor, you want to rapidly jump.
Look at those folk, acting like they own this place.
Take down that servitor,
Absurder.
and they starve.
So, difference between sword skating and this is you must have an incline to go up to. It has to be higher than this, and it has to be close to each other. Even if it's a downwards like this. Down here, you can technically do a sword skate here. It is on an incline, but there's no vertical incline to go up to. That's why over there is the best way to practice. There's some areas on different maps that has incline and the downward incline. So that was sword skate. So if it's not like that, now you're gonna fail your downward incline due to the fact it's not high enough. You're just gonna sword yourself instead of actually skating. But once you get hang of it and once you get practice, the air surfing is so much more fun and just to be able to explore, to figure out what to do, how to do it. And it's become absolutely fun moments when you don't feel like raiding or feel like playing with everyone. This is a fun way to do this. And you don't necessarily have to have Strand completed. Like me, I rarely ever touch my hunter, but you want to have this dodge on. This is the backflip dodge, like this. You want to have that dodge because of the distance of air you get when you combine it. And that allows you to go in the air and dodge quicker. It does take time to get used to, so don't hurt yourself just because you didn't complete it. It does take time. But once you get a hang of it, you can do both sorting and also do air surfing. So what I just did right there, that is sword skate. It's been in the game for a long time. Warlocks were one of the first to pretty much do that. It wasn't really until Stasis came when Hunters were able to do it. Now, Stasis is a little bit more trickier. You will have to change your key binding a lot. And it's a little trickier to get used to. If you fail your button input, you fail. Rush it, you fail. Don't have impatience, you fail. You will fail a lot if you do not have patience. Patience is a key when it comes to sword skating and air surfing. I know some of you don't like... But that rabbit just disappeared. Some of you have difficulties of learning to be patient, which is completely understandable. You don't like to be the person that sits there and beats still, which is completely understandable. A lot of people are like that. It's just all about key bindings and learning your input. You can change your input to any way you would like it. It doesn't have to be exactly my way. You can do it any way that's more comfortable for you. That works. You will have to have the dodge mechanic as solo press instead of long press or double press. That will allow you to activate the jump a lot more and make it smoother jump. And there's another rabbit. The steeper the incline, the more distance you have. Even if it's just this small hill, you could still technically do it. It's all about button smashing. If you're on PC, you might have a little higher chance of doing it, because you can combine the dodge mechanic into the pretty much analogs. Not analog, I already forgot what it's called. Now this might work. I have not tested this, so I'm gonna test it now. If you always run out, pop the super, get that dodge back. So since it's not really a incline, you want to be at the top to get that downward force. Since it's not technically a downward force as much. This is a small hill compared to other hills, so it's much harder to perform it than it is doing that way. And trust me, it's a pain in the ass. It took me about a total of 5 to 10 minutes to practice this. So it's not as difficult as practicing roller skating, but it is still difficult. Yeah, so there's not enough incline to be able to get that. Because it may seem like a downward skate right here, but it's not steep enough to get that oomph that you need to ramp off. But once you get a hang of it, it's a lot easier. A lot more understanding of what to do, how to do it, and perfect timing how to do it correctly. It's all about timing your hits and perfecting your flaws. You can use momentum transfers to get you, well, not momentum transfer, I forget what's called. Focusing strike, and that'll allow you to get your class ability quicker. Upon power melees. Make sure it's downward incline. But if you don't know how to time it, and it's not steep enough, you're not gonna be able to get excelled. So, I hope this helps you understand how to do it, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Until next time.